What are you doing to him? He doesn't want to be involved.
We got a cat this time. He watched the film too.
He knows this is going up on YouTube. He doesn't want to damage his reputation.
Yeah, he's the Afghanistan cat.
And now he's just like settled on. Like, I'll just sleep here.
We just watched...
Was this a request?
Yes.
I don't remember it sometimes.
Yes, this was a patron request for Backseat Critique. Because they enjoyed... The exact message was something along the lines of, I really liked, you know, your Ginger Snaps 1. I want to know what Omega thinks of 2.
It's alright.
Ginger Snaps 1 and 2... I give me a list of the official Hagen list of the best werewolf films. Where you've got, you know, and as we all know, that means it's law. The Wolfman, American Werewolf in London, Ginger Snaps Unleashed, and The Wolf Girl. What the fuck were you doing, Canada, in the early 2000s? You created 3 of the 5 best werewolf films in very short time.
Maybe they have like actual werewolves up in Canada.
Maybe, but although the Wolf Girl though has a hell of an asterisk beside it because it's like an inverse werewolf film, if that makes sense. Even though it's not about a wolf that turns into a girl, but it's weird enough, and it's got Tim Curry and Grace Jones in it.
Well, damn. Yeah. Well, damn. No, it was all right. It was very itself, very Canadian.
It was fucking awesome.
Curling was mentioned.
You see, Bridget, the sister of Ginger, who was the werewolf in the first one, she has become a werewolf because she basically infects herself in the first one, and she's been hunted down by another werewolf who I believe...
We never find out who it is, though.
I think we're supposed to assume it was the guy that Ginger passed it on to in the original film. The guy who played Frey in Vikingdom.
Well...
And so... Bridget's been keeping her werewolfness at bay using sort of monks, and she's mistaken for a junkie and sort of locked up in this facility.
Which, surprisingly, spoilers, was not evil at all.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't some nefarious government plot. They weren't secretly behind the werewolf virus. It was just actually rehab. And
she falls in with this girl called Ghost, who is, spoilers, completely fucking nuts. And shenanigans go down.
Shenanigans ensue.
And I'm really ashamed to say this, but it's only very recently I noticed that... Oh, are you fighting me, Mary?
He wants to go sit by the fire, even though the fire's not on.
The one who plays Bridget, you know, it's hilarious that she's actually like 4 or 5 years older than the one playing Ginger, because Ginger was meant to be the older sister. But she was in the It TV movie series thing in the 80s with Tim Curry. She was the girl in the Losers Club when they were all young.
Oh.
So, do you think that her as a werewolf could defeat Pennywise?
I don't know. She was a kind of crap werewolf.
Pennywise was a werewolf, though, in the TV version of it. He turned into a werewolf to fight Seth Green. Oh. Yeah. You see, in the book and in the original TV version of it, the fears were far more pop culture related. In the movie version, they sort of made more generic horror film ones, but in those ones, it was like, oh no, he's going to turn into a werewolf. Oh no, he's like turned into a mummy because the kid had saw like a mummy film.
I don't know, the one where like it's the horrifying painting in the rabbi's study. That was pretty...
That was a direct reference because the guy who directed the It film, I believe that's Andy Muschietti, the director of Mama. And that woman was meant to be a direct reference to Mama, his previous horror film, which was basically like a horror film crossed with the Guillermo del Toro sort of family drama. But that was his little Easter egg.
Oh. Well, because, I mean, we all have seen that piece of art that, like, someone in your family's like, isn't it glorious? And you're like, oh my god, this is so horrifying. Like horrible and traumatizing.
Like the Santa Claus in your, is it your Uncle Phil's house?
It's not. It's just like a decoration.
Santa Claus?
There's just, like, folksy type wooden carving of Santa Claus, like, kind of in, like, a crescent, like the moon almost, that my aunt has. And what was it, like, 5 or 6 years ago you saw it and you just... Guess you got traumatized?
No, you made me take a photo beside it of me acting scared at it.
Yeah, because you didn't like it.
But anyway, Ginger Snaps Unleashed is fucking brilliant in that doesn't at all try to copy the first one. It got the bare bones thing of, oh, someone's got a werewolf first. Oh, they're not too into this. Oh no, they're becoming more bestial. That's the basic bare bones of it. Like the first one, but a completely different direction. And it could well be better. It's just fucking brilliant.
It was alright. I mean,
you were not sufficiently enthusiastic.
I'm sorry, I'm tired. The werewolf effects were okay.
Well, the werewolf effects in both films are fairly shit. It's a low budget Canadian film. It's not a well.
And there's a lot of body horror in it.
Yeah, that's fair to say. And the what I don't understand is why they filmed this was a box office flop. The only reason we have
shocking, isn't it?
The only reason we have a third Ginger Snaps is because this one and Ginger Snaps Back were filmed back to back. I'm not sure why, but they did. But Ginger Snaps Back is the worst idea in the history of everything ever.
Why?
As in, literally, it's a worse idea than the person who came up with the brilliant concept of drinking mercury to live forever.
Why?
Why is it so bad?
Yeah.
Well, because if you drink mercury to live forever, you'll die.
No, movie, I know. Actually, if you breathe in mercury vapor as well, you'll die eventually, so...
It's not a good immortality trick.
No.
Ginger Snaps Back is a remake of the first one. Oh look, two girls who are teens, and one of them becomes a werewolf. The other one has to deal with it. It's the exact same thing, with the exact same ones playing Ginger and Bridget.
Oh.
Calling them Ginger and Bridget, but it's set in like 1820s.
So it's a historic remake?
Yeah, and there's
a pre-make?
And yes, it's its own pre-make, and it's not even like a prequel because these ones are not the ancestors of those two, so it's just like they decided to remake it but worse for no reason at all. But they made this back-to-back with the actual sequel, when you'd think if you're doing two Ginger Snaps sequels, do a fucking sequel to this one, because at the very least, you don't need to create fucking 19th century fort sets for it. Just a thought.
You're really offended about this.
I am, because this has such a good ending, and there's we could take this. The third Ginger Snaps could have been fucking amazing. Spoilers. Crazy girl ghost basically has decided to become a Punisher-like figure, like bringing death and destruction on people that she deems who deserve it, with a fucking pet werewolf. You know, who was Bridget.
What is she feeding Bridget?
Bridget is probably eating the woman from the hospital.
She'll need more food eventually.
Eventually. So I'm thinking a sequel, just do it sort of like the Punisher. It's like she's off living her life, and then there's, people do things that she deems bad, and then she has Bridget kill them. Is this not or possibly even do it from a police point of view, where it's like there's a serial killer happening, like the murders, and they hunt it down and they discover that it's ghosts doing this with Bridget. It's so fucking good.
Writes itself.
Yes, it does. It writes itself far more than that fucking prequel. What the fuck were they thinking?
They're there.
It's like they looked at Back to the Future 2 and 3 and they're like, okay, well, this one's actually set after the first one, but the third one has to be set in the Wild West for some reason. Well, we don't have a Wild West in Canada, really, so we have to do our closest equivalent.
Kind of.
Which is like the Wild West, but lots more snow.
Isn't the middle kind of like the West? Like the Midwest anyway? Canadians, clear this up for me, because I've heard conflicting reports.
Yeah, Alberta's like Texas.
Yeah.
But I'm really offended that film exists. It's like, God fucking... You could have had a perfect werewolf trilogy very easily.
You ruined everything.
You did.
I'm still waiting for my Werewolf the Apocalypse video game. Although apparently they're making one now. 20 years too late. 20 years after Heart of Gaia that never came out, that I was really excited about.
We'll call my character Ginger or Bridget just to spite them.
Yeah, where's that World of Darkness MMO that was promised in 2009?
Why can't they just release Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, a proper version of that? I was pretty good at that, but then I couldn't survive the werewolf bit.
Well, that's because they can spend rage.
Yeah, basically...
Unless you have celerity to counter well.
Basically, you're in a place with a bunch of fire, and you've either got to kill the werewolf in single combat, or you've got to survive the werewolf for a certain amount of time, and I could never manage it. And given that I was always playing as a Toreador, that's not the most unexpected thing.
Maybe you have celerity though. And if your presence was high enough, you could at least like stop him for a round each time.
You can't use presence in the game in that way.
Oh.
Well, you can. Give you an idea of how difficult this was, honey. Mm-hmm. I worked out a trick when playing Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines that allowed you to level up your character. To put your points in when your character generating, and then start the game, and then go back, and then have more points to add in. So I was able to have maximum level character from the fucking get-go, as though my sire was like a level 2, or Cain himself.
Wow. So basically, if you were their generation, that would make you an antediluvian. You could have started your own clan.
Yeah, so basically that's how powerful I was.
Nerds.
And yet, I was able to get through the game perfectly fine. Like, oh, haunted house shit, oh, I don't care about that. Oh, the entire zombie building, oh, who gives no fucks. Oh, I'm going through all the Nosferatu tunnels. This is really easy. It's like, oh, fuck, werewolf!
Werewolves will fuck your shit up.
I know. Even my fucking antediluvian powerful magic person was not able to fucking defeat the thing. I tried it with multiple clans because I wanted to get someone to defeat that fucking... I killed a fucking were-shark alongside like a Chinese vampire.
Were so useless though. The Rokia were so useless.
But I killed one and it was difficult, but you know, I still could never manage the werewolf. Even as a fucking gangrel or a bruja. Bruja.
What's wrong? I don't like that.
She's supposed to overreact more than that.
I'm tired.
I even took out all the fucking Giovanni. I remember there was some sort of a difficult thing where they all had weaponry and they're all fucking mafia motherfuckers. But never the fucking...
They're all necromancers too, meet the Giovanni.
The Tremere base was awesome in Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines. Because you go in there and you take a wrong turn and you end up in... The face is non-Euclidean, so you have to go like left, right, left, 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 right, left to get to the main part. If you take a wrong turn, you end up at the start.
So I hate endless maps like that.
Yeah, but it's been designed to keep everyone who's not a Tremere from finding the actual place.
Well, you figured it out.
Well, yeah, you're playing a Tremere, so it's just it's irritating when you're playing the game, but it's a nice little world building thing.
Wankers always wanted to play Tremere. It's always the wankers. They wanted to use blood magic.
And I never played a Nosferatu because I did not feel like wandering through the fucking streets in the sewers and going through their fucking shit heaps of, places where they live. Really irritating.
So, Ginger Snaps.
Ginger Snaps is fucking awesome, guys. You have to watch it. You can buy the trilogy for very cheap, but burn the third one rather than watch it. Just be like,
tell your parents we said it was fine.
Watch the first two and then pretend there's a third one like we described earlier.
Just hallucinate that part,
Yeah. Should I tell them about that film, The Wolf Girl, which is really good and needs a serious asterisk?
Well, you kind of have to now because you brought it up 2 times.
Okay. Basically, you got a traveling sort of circus freak show type thing, and this girl has, is it hypertrichosis? Where you've got the
that sounds right.
Body hair, you got mad hair everywhere.
Like on your face and shit.
And she's all like, she doesn't like this, so she decides to take this experimental treatment to get rid of the body hair, rather than spend a lot of money and time and pain on laser or whatever. She just takes this thing. And it gets rid of her hair.
It gets rid of her face.
But as it gets rid of her hair, it makes her mind more and more bestial. So as she looks more human, she becomes more and more an animal.
Oh, it's like the picture of Dorian Gray, except not.
That's fucking great. Tim Curry's playing the guy in charge of the freak show. At least I think it is him. It's been a long time since I saw it. Iceman from X-Men turns up as a guy with a very small dick. That's a major plot point. And I think Grace...
It's a major plot point.
Yes.
Since it's a minor plot point, wouldn't have to be.
Oh. And Grace Jones, I believe, is playing a bearded lady, which I think is the greatest bit of casting.
If you say so.
I'm surprised Obscure Slipper hasn't reviewed this. I should add it to my list just to annoy her.
I don't think she's going to be like, blast you, Hagen, if only.
I could have reviewed that.
You'll probably tweet her about like, look at this, and she'll be like, oh, cool. That's exactly what will happen. Or like, looks neat. Or like sweet.
So, yeah.
Because she's a nice person. So, that was Ginger Snap's Awakening?
Unleashed.
Whatever, something like that.
The title makes no sense regardless. The third one has going for it is Ginger Snaps Back. That is a good title. based on the the ginger snaps joke thing, but this one, no.
It was alright. Patron, I hoped it was everything you dreamed of and more.
It was awesome.
They're like, no! You weren't sufficiently upset by it. I demand a recount.
And the girl who played Ghost, she was great.
Yeah, she looks familiar to me.
And in the hospital,
She looks a wee bit like Michelle Trachtenberg when I was on her.
Yeah. And in the Canadian hospital, you got all these Canadian TV actors who have all turned up in like the X-Files or whatever. And you're like, oh, I know that one, I know that one, I know that one. It's like you're watching a bunch of people who were in TV shows, like guest stars, who broke down after their crazy adventures they had when they were guest starring, and they've all just ended up together. Actually, that's a great idea for a film. Get a bunch of people who appeared in various films or TV shows, and they have to deal with their experience in group.
Being an actor, that traumatizing?
Well, I'm not talking about the actors having breakdowns, the characters. Whatever happened in the episode was so traumatic.
Oh, right. I thought you meant the actors were traumatized.
Yeah. When I was younger, I tried scripting a play which was about a support group for monsters who had basically had breakdowns because they did not enjoy monstering so much. They found it so distressing having to be monsters and be hated and everything that they all ended up in this hospital, and they ended up having sort of group sessions to support each other.
Monster CBT.
Yeah, basically.
And then your parents got a nice little letter. We are concerned about your child.
No one's concerned about me.
Well, this is in school that you wrote this letter?
No, I was writing something else at school. This was later on.
Oh, I couldn't tell. I thought you meant you wrote it for school.
No.
But yeah, so that's what we have to say about that. I mean, werewolves, etc. Canadians. Yeah.
Yeah, Canada,
Getting along.
Apparently Canada is the world's...
Got rid of the penny.
It's apparently the world's greatest country when it comes to werewolf films.
Who knew?
Canadians, I'm sure.
Maybe like Trudeau's a werewolf.
Probably.
Mm-hmm. Like sexy werewolf, like cover of Time magazine kind of werewolf.
Mid-90s David Ginola werewolf. Look up David Ginola in the 90s and you'd be like...
You can spell it.
Ginola.
Not you, them.
Well, now they can.
I see.
David isn't just David, and and make sure you specify early to mid-90s, and you can go, holy shit, I had no idea Justin Trudeau was a footballer in England.
Who knew?
Yeah.
That's the dryer. If you can hear that little noise, it keeps going off every so often. That's the noise that it makes.
Yes. Fucking fantastic.
It was alright.
Thank you, Patron, for giving me the opportunity to force her to watch it.
It wasn't really forcing, though.
I really want to show her Hocus Pocus and Masters of the Universe and a few other films. So if people are due at Patron requests or want to force her to watch things...
take back their choice just because you say. No.
I will watch everything. If someone wants to become a new patron just to see you suffer...
That's terrible.
There are films.
That's terrible. That's like...
That's
sadism.
awesome.
It makes me kind of like a prostitute then, doesn't it?
No.
Because, like, they pay to make me watch... They pay to make me do something. Like watch a movie.
It's making you a cinemasochist. And they're a sadoma person.
Sadom movie? I don't know.
See you later.
Bye.